Since its publication in 1939, the Big Book has served as the core manual for Alcoholics Anonymous. It outlines a specific sequence of practices that many now recognize only through surface-level slogans or as a vaguely religious fellowship. This nearly century-old fellowship sits alongside modern clinical interventions. Today, addiction science utilizes cognitive behavioral therapies and FDA-approved medications like naltrexone to manage alcohol use disorder. This bar chart compares the 12-month continuous abstinence success rates of different treatments based on a 2020 Cochrane review of over 10,000 participants. In this study, structured 12-step programs matched or outperformed established medical therapies for continuous abstinence. The logic behind the success is found in the nature of addiction itself. Because alcoholism is driven by compulsion and denial, it cannot be solved by willpower or inspiration alone. To beat addiction, the 12 steps are best understood as a highly structured, three-phase behavioral workflow designed to rewrite destructive cycles. Phase 1 covers the first 3 steps. It acts as the fundamental reality check required before any behavioral change can begin. Step 1 requires concrete proof. You write down the exact consequences of your drinking, the missed obligations, the broken promises, and the financial fallout. You assemble hard evidence that personal control has failed. Steps 2 and 3 introduce the concept of a higher power. The program defines itself as spiritual and remains unaffiliated with any formal religious organization. Defining a higher power is a practical exercise in willingness. It is a tool used to formally stop relying on your own self-will, and the framework is broad enough to accommodate agnostics and atheists. By the end of this first phase, the denial is stripped away. You establish the baseline of surrender required to move into the action phases of the program. Phase 2 spans steps 4 through 9. This is the pivot point where abstract internal realizations convert into documented action. It starts with step 4, a structured self-audit. You write down the repeating resentments, the hidden fears, and the habits that drive your worst decisions. Step 5 requires you to speak that exact inventory aloud to a sponsor or an experienced guide. Speaking the truth to another person prevents you from hiding behind vague generalities. Once the internal audit is complete, steps 8 and 9 shift your focus outward. You take your newly documented insight and use it to repair your actual relationships. You comb through your inventory to build a prioritized list of the people you have harmed, deciding exactly what kind of repair is possible for each one. This decision tree illustrates the branching logic of step 9. You have to separate the safe, direct amends from the situations where making contact would cause further harm to the other person. Phase 2 forces an itemized accounting of the past, replacing the pattern of avoidance with direct responsibility for your actions. The final phase is the required maintenance layer. Without it, the insights gained in the previous steps will quickly fade. Steps 10 and 11 establish a daily review system. You monitor your baseline carefully so you can catch anger, fear, or dishonesty the same day it appears and correct your course promptly. Step 12 directs you to carry the message. Helping others suffering alcoholics is a mandatory requirement of the program. It is the core mechanism that sustains your own recovery. Continuous self-correction and service to others reinforce your new identity. They break the isolation that defines active addiction. The long-term efficacy of the 12 steps comes from changing how you live daily. It provides a supportive fellowship that continues to function long after a formal clinical detox ends. But the system only works through strict, repetitive application. Mastering it requires deep study and hundreds of hours of guided, written work. To navigate that process properly, you need a reliable guide. Understand and complete the 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous is a comprehensive blueprint built on 46 years of real-world AA sponsorship experience. The course maintains a strict ethical grounding, and proceeds from the guide are tithed back to AA and its supporting organizations. You can begin your structured journey to lasting recovery by accessing the free PDF on the Great Discovery platform today.